Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernie. Your Kentucky Oaks qualifying points on the line in the feature race at Oaklawn Park on Saturday. That's the Grade 3 Honeybee at 1 mile and a 16th. Lots of nice offers on DRF bets. Let's take a look at the latest one. Get up early this weekend because you get a first post bonus on the preps on Saturday. Bet $25 to win on one horse in race number 1 at Tampa Bay on Tampa Bay Derby Day, or at Aqueduct on Gotham Day, or at Turfway for Jeff Ruby Stakes Day. You get a $10 bonus. Learn more at drf.com/preps. Let's meet these 3-year-old fillies getting set to go 1 mile and a 16th in the Grade 3 Honeybee. Number 2, Motion. Emotion dominated in her 2-turn debut last time out. First start against winners. She's got a really nice pedigree match. She's by Take Charge Indy. The Dam's a half to Golden It Tis, a graded stakes winner. Sapphire and Silk, a graded stakes winner. My one concern was she got really loose in the early portion of that race, and she may face a little bit more pace heat this time around.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. You take a look and see, it looks like there's some other speed signed on in this race, so perhaps she's not going to be out there all by her lonesome. And each of her 2 victories have come in gate-to-wire fashion, both of them at Oaklawn, so that's a positive. But she is, to me, in many ways, the key to the race because, you know, based on figures, there's a real chance that she's just simply better than everyone else in this field. I think people are going to look at it the exact same way and say, okay, well, she's the horse to beat. And if she goes off at 2-1, I don't know that I necessarily love her.
Number 5, Chocolate Kisses, I think ultimately will be best on the turf. Dam graded stakes winning turf router. Chocolate Kisses is a half to Synchrony, who's a grade 2 stakes winner on the turf. Point System, a stakes winner going long on synthetic. And Chocolate Kisses has won both of her lifetime races on turf. But I guess that 4th place finish in the Alcibiades gives Mark Casse hope that this horse can step on dirt, and she should get the right pace set up if she can get out of the gate.
And maybe you take a shot now of all times. If you thought this race was a little bit on the suspect side, you come in, you try to get a stakes placing here. She's already stakes placed on turf. I don't love her in a spot like this. I agree with you. I think she's a turf horse when it's all said and done. But I can understand the logic for taking a chance.
Timeform U.S. Pace Projector believes the pace will be hot, and that the 2, Motion Emotion, might have to work this time around with stretch-out sprinter the 7, Raintree Starlet, and the 8, Ultimate Mo, close to the pace. Let's talk about Raintree Starlet, who has won her last 3 races and is coming into this race off a 5-furlong bullet workout at Oaklawn Park. I'm worried about the distance. I know the Got Stormies, they can get the middle distances. This second dam, though, is a stakes-winning dirt sprinter. I think she's here, and she can have an effect on the race, especially on Motion Emotion. I'm just not sure she can carry her speed 1 mile and a 16th right now.
You know, when I did my first run through of the race, she was the one I kind of put my eye on, and I said, well, you know what, she got a little bit of versatility, stretching out in distance. Like you said, the Get Stormy, don't think that's an issue. Went back and watched the tape. She finished willingly, but she was lugging in a little bit at the end, and I'm just not totally convinced that this extra distance is going to be to her benefit.
Another horse close to the pace is the 10, Best Kept Secret, who has yet to rout, but has won around 2 turns, that being a 7-furlong maiden race at Delta Downs. Again, another situation. Dam, a stakes-winning dirt sprinter. At least this is a half to a multiple stakes-placed horse named Breeze Got Heart, who is a little bit versatile, but tough outside post, has to hustle against better horses. She's going to have to improve at a big price.
Certainly is. Only win thus far, gate-to-wire fashion, breaking from the outside. I'd imagine she's used early on. But again, another instance where, you know, you got to read a little bit between the lines. I'm sure the connections would be thrilled to just get a piece of this thing with her.
Big pace could help out the 6, Power Gal. This horse was bred in Japan. She scored in the local prep for this race. The Martha Washington going a 2-turn mile, her first start around 2 turns, and she kind of overcame the short stretch of the mile run at Oaklawn that day to win. She is slowly moving forward from a buyer speed figure standpoint. I don't think she's a star, but she might get the right setup again.
You know, I don't love the Martha Washington as a whole. This race as a whole itself is about as clear as mud to me, but the Martha Washington, at least if you want to look at it and say it's difficult to earn a good fig when there is no pace signed on whatsoever, you're not going to find much slower pace figures than what those girls had in the Martha Washington. Numbers of 50 and 48 for the early pace calls. That's just not going to sort of equate to a fast sort of situation. I think with a more honest pace, Power Gal's going to need to prove that she can handle the hike, but at the same time, in many ways, shouldn't it be to her advantage?
I think that's a very good point, especially when discussing another horse coming out of the Washington, that being the number 9 Marathon Queen. Cold Dope looks good. Won her career debut, stakes placed in her second lifetime start. But didn't she have kind of all the best of it last time out, pressing that pace? They're going 49-4, going a mile at Oaklawn, and she was still run down by Power Gal. Now, maybe it's too early to give up on her. Her dam was multiple grade 1 placed going long on the dirt. She's trained by Steve Asmussen, and we have this formulator fact. Past 5 years, 3-year-old dirt routers off a mini layoff in graded stakes at Oaklawn, 23% winners, a 467 ROI. They're going to go faster early here. She's going to have to come from further out of it.
Yeah, like you say, certainly don't want to give up on her. It's way too early. She's run 2 times, but at the same time, she had everything go her way in the Martha Washington. And of the 3 fillies exiting that race, if you want any of them, I think she is last of the 3 simply because of that. She had everything go her way. Not going to happen this time.
How about a sneaky pedigree horse down towards the rail, Matt? The number 1 Perfect Reigns by Medaglia d'Oro. The dam's a half to a horse named Lotta Kim, who's the dam of Rachel Alexandra. And last time out, Perfect Reigns got beat by an odds-on winner, who was just too good for her that day. She looked good enough, winning 2 starts back, albeit in slow time. This is a nice inside post position. She's going to get some pace. I'm not saying she's a likely winner, but maybe she sneaks into your multiple, your single race exotics, trifecta, superfecta at a giant price.
Agreed. Down on the inside, save some ground, especially if that pace heats up. She's going to be able to come and finish with a decent effort at the end. I agree with you. She's slow on figs, but if you're looking for that kind of key horse underneath to spice some things up, she could certainly fit the bill.
Mr. Lucas sends out Ultimate Mo, the number 8. Easy winner in the slop last time out in her 2-turn debut. Formulator fact, not great. Won't let it dissuade me too much. Ultimate Mo will be a good price. Past 5 years, Mr. Lucas with 3-year-old last out maiden winners on dirt. Only 1 for 34 with a 25-cent ROI. We know Mr. Lucas likes to take a shot.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're doing here. She was out there. She was on the lead. I don't think there was a heck of a lot of running going on behind her. She was able to scoot away down the lane. That also came again over a sloppy sealed track. Let's see what happens this time around. More pace signed on.
But only beaten less than 2 lengths by Motion Emotion, sprinting 2 starts back. Let's take a look at our top selections for this Kentucky Oaks points race, the Honeybee. Let's talk about Sunset Wish. Beaten favorite in the Martha Washington. You were not happy about the trip.
No, it just didn't seem to work out. And I don't know that I certainly don't want to blame Joe Bravo for it. It was just one of those instances where the pace never materialized. She's in amongst horses. She's very, very keen. She wants to go, but there's a wall in front of her. Wherever Bravo wanted to go, it just didn't seem like it was able to open up. And then finally she was angled out into the clear. And by that point, it was far too late. I'm being honest with you. I don't like the Martha Washington as a whole, but I just found the rest of this race very difficult, and not because it doesn't seem like it's straightforward, but because I couldn't find little things to knock with each one of these fillies. So I went with the horse that maybe had a little bit of a trip, and with a cleaner run this time around. Of the horses exiting the Martha Washington, I want to give her a chance.
I want the complete stranger, the number 4 Bizwax by Fed Biz, dam, a grade 1 placed router on synth, and I think 2-turn racing is what Bizwax wants. She's only tried it 3 times in her career, 2 starts on turf. She hit the board both times, then last time out over a sealed sloppy track. And okay, if you want to make the argument it was the slop that made her look as good as she did that day, fine. But she's 12-1 on the morning line in this race, and she's got a little bit of tactical speed where she can sit in the second flight. I mean, she humbled that horse that finished second, and that horse came right back to win. It was a very fast race. Older filly and mare maiden special weights, albeit off the turf, they went 36-3. She went 36-2. I don't know. I think Doug O'Neill knows what he's doing in these sort of situations. He's taking a shot for some big money, and he's bringing his money rider, Mario Gutierrez.
I mean, visually, she was the most impressive of all the fillies exiting their last race in this spot here. The only thing, and I said it to you before we came on, I just don't know, was it the wet track that moved her up so significantly? Or, also keep in mind, she had routed 2 other times. Those were both on grass, though. That was her first time routing on the main track. So maybe that's all she's wanted all along, and she exploded the way that she did. A replica of that effort, she's going to be tough to beat.
Give me numbers.
I went 3-4-2-6.
I'm going 4-2-7-6 in the grade 3 Honeybee Stakes. Kentucky Oaks points on the line at Oaklawn Kentucky Derby points on the line at Aqueduct, Turfway, and Tampa Bay. You can get involved with an existing DRF Bets account with your first post bonus. Bet $25 to win on one horse in race number 1 at any of those 3 tracks. Get a $10 bonus. DRF.com/preps is where you need to go for all the details. Approximate post time for the Honeybee, 5:04 Central. Best of luck.